that picture that was going around of the pregnant woman on the stretcher.
She's dead.
Yes.
And her child is dead as well, yeah.
And that they reported that today. It's one of those things where you're like, dude, I hope this isn't real. And it is real. We've got friends over there. Is Tim in Dakota still over there?
I don't know.
Okay. So if they're there, maybe they'll come back and be on the show and tell us about it. We do know some people are just showing up and helping, which is rad. The other video that I saw today was one of the Klitschko brothers. And he was listed as a mayor.
Yeah, he's the mayor of Kiev.
Kiev,
right?
yeah, Kiev.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So he
Not
made
Vladimir. What's the other guy's name?
Yeah, it's his brother. I'll look it up real quick.
Vitaly
yeah.
Klitschko.
Yeah.
He made a video today that's been circulating, and he walked up to a building right after it was bombed a few hours ago and just shot kind of a live feed video of what was going on. It goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this, where this war is on social media, and you're getting live images and videos from the ground of this moments after it happens. I'm not sure how this is going to shake out with the Klitschko brothers in there. I mean, they're so famous. Do they stay and fight to the end?
The end is nigh. So if you're only watching Western media, then you think that Ukraine the ghost of Kiev has killed 3,000 people by himself. Dude doesn't exist, by the way. You think a lot of stupid things that aren't true. The fact is, as I've said before, we've been judging this conflict based on 21st century warfare that the United States has conducted, and that is not how Russia fights. They've been fighting the way that they fight, and it is oftentimes a war of attrition where it takes time to get assets into place. And also, there's a goal behind the way they're fighting. They're not just trying to take and dominate the entire country. They're trying to peel off certain parts of it. So the new thing that's popping up in the news media is Russia asking China for military and financial support.
Yeah. Now, is that true?
Certainly is true, yeah, that they're asking. Whether or not they'll get it, TBD. I don't know that it's going to be necessary, because my understanding from people who have been actually involved in some of the back channel shit say that, excuse me, that Zelensky has cooled on the idea of joining NATO. He feels like NATO doesn't even want him there, so he's looking to negotiate a deal that keeps them out of Russian control and gets some of his land back, basically. That's going to be the next step, and it'll probably take like 2 weeks for that, depending.
2 weeks from today or 2 weeks from that meeting?
Well, I don't know when the meeting happened, but I would say 2 weeks from today.
Okay. Because my next question would be this, is if China does give military equipment and aid to Russia, wouldn't that be considered a world war at this point? Because I don't know that anybody...
No.
But could you just sit back and let that happen?
Yeah, we're not at war with Russia.
We're not at war with Russia, but if China were to step in, that's a pretty bold move. Would we step in then and give...
Why is China giving Russia support a bold move when we're giving Ukraine support?
Well, are we? So
yes.
that was my follow-up here, was that.
Yes.
If we are, and both sides are supporting each other from different countries at this point, technically, isn't that a world war then? I mean...
It's a Cold War world war, but, I mean, because it's a proxy battle still. Like, there's a major element that Russia is involved in it, but it's still, from our perspective, a proxy battle for both China and the United States, which are the real military powers. Russia is not a military power.
Okay, and my other question is, seeing these videos, especially from Klitschko today, why haven't they still just not jammed all communications in and out of there?
Maybe they don't have the tech.
Russia?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
It seems weird, right?
That would imply that they're not getting technical support from China right now.
Because being able to get your message out there and showing these images from the ground is extremely powerful, at least a response from around the world. So it'll cause probably, and this is just a guess, it'll probably cause more sanctions from other countries that aren't the United States, where these images, once you look at them, especially that pregnant woman on the stretcher, will be too big for countries to ignore that haven't gotten into the fray yet, as far as sanctions go.
Well, it's just white people getting killed, so the left doesn't care yet.
They're
pretending to care, but if like a person of color were to die, then it's on, because that's what they care about. As a matter of fact, the Air Force Command held an inclusion meeting 2 days ago.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
They're trying to promote equity within the ranks. Equity is a Marxist term for it's race Marxism. That's what it is. Yeah, and the Air Force just did that. So, it's really important for people to be aware of what their government's doing and critical of it. I saw a good meme this weekend, and it said, "It's weird how the government robs me once a year and then uses the money to finance shit that I find morally reprehensible."
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Back to your comment about the white war. Joy Reid actually said that over the weekend from MSNBC.
Yeah.
She said that people only care because it's white people there.
Now, people care because Russia has nuclear weapons. That's why they care.
Right.
Yeah, if Macedonia was invading Albania, no one would give a hot fuck.
No. If South Africa invaded England, maybe we'd care because England's got nukes.
So does South Africa.
Do they really?
Yeah, they're nuclear power.
I didn't know that.
I'm a fact check that, but
Sure.
Yeah, fact check that, Bob, just in case.
I want them to have nukes. I want everybody to have nukes. I want you to have them.
You want Bob to have them?
No, you.
Oh, me, yeah. I'd
Bob
love to
can't
have
be
them.
trusted.
South Africa is the only African nation to have nuclear weapons.
Bob would use
Holy
them
shit.
against. Bob would use them to defend his baby against Delco, and I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
Then we would have to give them both nukes, and then they would have to have the annual changing of the guard ceremony, the border ceremony between India and Pakistan. Have you ever seen that shit before? It's so fucking funny. It's supposed to be like a display of masculinity and military prowess and shit, but really all they do is like stomp the yard.
Yeah.
And big ass, they've got like these helmets that have this big ass fucking feathery thing on it. It's ridiculous.
Big fan of Stomp the Yard. Big fan.
I don't even know that I could tell you who was in that movie.
I actually appreciate it when countries have stop making their uniforms after a certain year. Like they just it's 1842 and they're just like, this is it. Our dress uniform does not change.
Well, the Army actually is going back to the old pink and greens, which look pretty dope.
The World War II ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fucking
I don't know
rad.
why we would have ever moved on from those. Those are the best uniforms we ever had.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps hasn't changed theirs ever, I don't think. They always have good. Anyways, China, the United States has certainly told China that if they start sending weapons or supplies out in the open, that any of their institutions would get sanctioned as well. And they can't. Their economy cannot survive without us buying their shit. Like Russia can sell its oil to these other fucking countries as long as they're not doing too much fucked up shit. But if China is not selling its wares to the United States, they're kind of fucked. So it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Some of the other images that are floating around right now, Zelensky visits injured troops in the hospital and giving out medals. I don't know if you can pull up that picture, Bob. Just type in Zelensky in the hospital with the troops. Because as these images are floating around and the more and more media coverage he starts to gain, this still bleeds into this, folk hero type narrative for Zelensky. And he knows what he's doing on social media. I will say that. He's been very, very smart about this war so far on the social media front, which is important. Obviously, the White House thought it was important enough to call fucking 20 TikTok stars or 30 or whatever the fuck it was. Social media has become a big deal to try to sway people to get them on your side. Yeah, put that there you go. So he's been taking selfies with some of the troops in the hospital and giving out medals. And the media, American media loves this. I mean, they're running with it and going out everywhere. I think partially, too, it's because they were attacked and they obviously didn't attack Russia. And people look at that as like, oh, hey, they were just minding their own business, and they got bombed. We should do something.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree that's true, but that's not really it's not on us.
I agree.
To do that.
I agree. And, a lot of the media, especially the left media, is saying, we should do something. Look at all these images. It's like, should we? You didn't want to do anything in Afghanistan.
Fight your own fucking war.
Yeah.